Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Hardcore Island Survival series. Today we've got a couple things on the docket. First, I would like to at least get started on the copper roof for this house. I think I did the math, and I believe I need 88 copper blocks, cut copper blocks, which should equal out to, I think it's gonna be 11 stacks of raw copper, which is gonna be quite a bit. But I believe that's because that's 11 by 1, 2, 3, 4, because that'll be a slab, and I can do that one as a slab. So it's gonna be quite a bit. So I doubt that we'll finish that today, but we'll go mining here in a moment, and then we're also gonna get a farm situated a little bit better than the one that I have down here on the shoreline, because while that's getting me a little bit of wheat going, it's not going to be a permanent solution. So I've got a bucket, and I'll just, I don't know, get something built for that, I guess. I've got a couple ideas as well that I've started to form for how I want this world to progress. Different ideas for once we eventually explore out and find other islands and stuff, and then a couple projects I've thought of for doing on this island. All of that, of course, is going to be dependent on my ability to survive, which so far is technically successful, but my track record for not getting majorly injured is not going very well. Let's get some fences made here. We'll just, I don't know, I think where it looks good. We'll just raise up a section over here. I think we'll drop this down. I'm so used to playing with my like Instamine shovel on my friend's server that I have to remind myself I'm on like stone and copper and not very efficient tools on this world yet. I think I've decided I do not like this tree. Yeah, after we get this farm done, I think I'll end up going down into the mines. I'll probably not bring you guys with other than like caving and whatnot, or if I happen to, you know, come across anything rare or interesting. I'm gonna hold off on trying to immediately progress into like diamonds and later tiers of material, or not materials, but the tiers of like weapons and armor and everything. Not gonna necessarily completely avoid it, but as I had kind of mentioned before, I think that people tend to rush progression in games, and I think it really changes the way that they approach playing games and the amount of satisfaction that you can get out of said game. I've actually been watching a fair bit of people on YouTube with kind of similar sentiments. It seems like there's a trend of forever worlds, which I also had mentioned a bit before, but it seems like as time is progressing, people are starting to be a little bit less caught up in like the sort of rat race and meta experience of playing this game or really any other game, because there's so much content on YouTube of, you know, like the easy one for me to say is like the hermits on Hermitcraft, where they play the game at this scale of grandeur that most people don't have either the time or theoretically the skill to replicate that. And if that's the only content that you're taking in, it can lead to this misleading perception that, you know, that's the way that you should be playing Minecraft, or maybe even that's the only way you can or you're supposed to. And then when you go on your 2-week Minecraft phase, then you're not able to, you know, replicate the extreme scale that you're witnessing. Then you get burnt out even quicker. because now your world isn't, you know, emulating the way that the experiences that you're seeing from content creators and the like. And I don't know, I think that it's kind of good to consider just slowing down a bit when you play video games. Because at the end of the day, you're playing games to, at least for myself, playing games to escape reality just a little bit. Not necessarily avoid it or not take part in it, but it's to be a separate experience. And I think that if you're forcing yourself to play at a certain amount of intensity or trying to make everything be visually appealing to, you know, Reddit posts and Tumblr and everything like that, it can, I don't know, it can drain you in a way that maybe you're not getting the same level of satisfaction out of the game. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but that's just kind of my thoughts. So it's been nice seeing other people express a similar sentiment towards the game. Let's see, we'll put... actually, we'll make these too tall to match the what I've got going over there. Also, a little thing I just noticed yesterday, actually, is when you do the pick block, so on mouse and keyboard defaults, when you click in your middle mouse button, like your scroll wheel, there's this fun little animation right down where it pops item in, and it doesn't do that animation when you're like shift clicking items into your inventory. And I've never like really given it much mental thought, but I don't know, it's nice to see. Apparently there are people that didn't even know that pick block is usable in survival, and it's like one of my most used features of the game. Thank you, Xbox, for giving me points for playing Minecraft. Okay, cool, thank you. You just told me that. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing that. I don't do anything with my Xbox account other than, I guess, technically play Minecraft, but let's see. So I've got 4 bread, 2 apples. It's really just about it, but okay. Off to the mines. I guess before I do the actual strip mining little bit that I was going to do, there is a bit more to the cave area that I very nearly died in the other day. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll take you guys down through here with me, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go out, mine all of the resource nodes that are exposed throughout here, and then I will continue this strip mine down over here, and I'll stop this strip mine right at the transfer height between the stone layer and the deep slate layer, and then I'll start like a strip mine going that way, and then eventually when I feel up to it, we'll continue that down beyond the deep slate layer. Oh, that's fine. I didn't really need your gunpowder anyways. Shields are one of those things that I will craft and then I will almost never like actually use, unfortunately. And part of that is being spoiled by Optifine with the dynamic lighting and all that. I think that's okay. Well, that was pretty simple. So I'm gonna mine up all these nodes, and then once I'm done with that, I'll kind of check in for a moment, show you guys what resources I've got, and then go back into the mine. So I will see you guys in a moment, I guess, for you. All right, now I'm done with mining up all that stuff from down below. Let's get a quick nap going. Then we'll assess the resources I got, and then we'll continue back down into more proper mining. So we've got 2 stacks in a bit for copper, and then a little bit of iron and coal. So I'm actually gonna get the iron going first, because this pickaxe isn't gonna last too long, and I'd like to get into the iron pick at the very least, because, well, I'd like to use copper tools for a little while. I need the copper for the roof. So between that 2 stacks and a bit, and then the 43 ingots we had, we should be able to at least get, I don't know, maybe the first couple rows of one side done. But I'm gonna let this smelt up. Oh, here, I'll just make the pickaxe now. And basically I'm just gonna continue that staircase down until I get to either deep slate layer or we find another cave. And I guess I'll get some food as well, because 3 bread's not gonna last us very long. I suppose I could finish this fence off. Sometimes I get a little too hasty with stuff, I think. That's okay. This is the raw, unadulterated experience of how I go through playing this game. And life, honestly. My brain can get a bit addled, I guess. Could be. I don't know if that's the correct word in this case, but that's not what I wanted to do. I'll probably change this up later because I don't love that immediate step onto there. Maybe I'll put like the lily pads or slabs or something along that, but it's good enough for now. Suppose I can make... I'm not gonna make more torches yet, but I'll have those on standby for if I need to. That was kind of an inefficient use of materials. That's fine. Okay, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna just go continue down that staircase, and I'll be back if anything interesting happens. So I will see you guys when that is done. Oh, cool. So now that we are here, I'll kind of show you the way that I at least typically will do my strip mining setup. I've changed it a little bit over the years, but kind of a staple that I've been doing now is I'll have multiple strip mines at different heights. And so I usually have basically a landing, and this is going to be a slightly bigger room. We'll probably expand it at some point to include like chests and furnace and everything like that. But I'll pretty much dig a slightly bigger tunnel out like this, and then I'll do little poke out tunnels going off to the side, and I do every 3rd block. So let's say I have a tunnel right here, and I'll basically just mine off in that direction until I get however far I feel like it. Usually I'll either go until I find diamonds, then turn around and start another one or do whatever. And then I skip 2 blocks, and then I go to this one. I know this is pretty basic stuff for people, but, you know, if there's anybody who doesn't know the more, I don't know, intricate things of Minecraft. So the reason I skip 2 is because while you're digging this tunnel and this tunnel, you see the block faces of all 4 of these blocks. So if I were to skip 1 and mine here, I'm mining more blocks than needed in order to see the same amount of precious resources. So I get slightly less like cobble and stuff over time, and I can more efficiently mine. But I'm gonna basically do this. I'll mine around until I get maybe another stack or 2 of copper or any significant amount of iron or anything, and then I'll meet you guys back up at the surface, I guess. So yeah, just gonna continue this tunnel out and then bore out a couple ways. So sounds like we're approaching a cave. Well, let's see. Maybe not a cave, but this will be a good source of lava if I want to try and get to the nether. I don't know if I plan on going to the nether early. Maybe we'll wait till I get a diamond pick like normal, but this is still a good resource to make note of. I don't think I'm gonna mine for much longer. I've gotten a bit of gold, a little bit more copper, and some iron, but I'm starting into my 2nd iron pick, and running out of torches fast. I haven't found any coal yet. Coal, I imagine I'm mostly going to end up just smelting wood into charcoal, which seems to be just almost necessary unless you get lucky with like really big caves. But anyways, I'm gonna carry on and we'll... Ooh, nice. That's exactly what I wanted, actually. So I was thinking how this staircase down to the mine's already kind of a little annoying to go up and down, especially without adequate food. But we've got a bit of gold, bit of redstone. We'll see if I have enough that I can make enough powered rails to get myself all the way up and down that. But anyways, I'm basically out of torches, so I will cut back out to once I get upstairs. As much as I like these, what's it, leaf litter? Yeah, there's a whole bunch. As much as I like seeing it, especially in the context of the trees and stuff, or using it for, you know, decoration, it's a little excessive when you're trying to build. And I know that doesn't, like, it doesn't affect block placement and stuff, but it visually clutters everything so much to a scale that I don't quite appreciate. So I'm gonna break up some of this that's at least away from the trees and stuff. There we go. Like, I don't mind seeing it in certain contexts, but I think it's just a little too extreme for me. But I think all of our copper should be either done or nearly done smelting. Let's see. Yeah, it just got done. And another thing I'm gonna do, this is just, it's gonna be a necessity. I need to make a composter setup because this is gonna drive me insane. I'm gonna need a couple hoppers. It's gonna feel like an early waste of iron, but I think that the bone meal gained as a result is gonna make it worth it. Slabs, I believe. Where's it at? Composter. Okay. So now we just need 2 hoppers. And this is just going to be the most simplified version of this. We'll set it over next to our farm because this is where we'll actually be utilizing it more often than not. At some point we'll get something more proper set up. But I guess I could put a chest on top as well. That's fine. So I can fit even more of this leaf litter in. It's gonna take my whole inventory, isn't it? Yep. Alright, cool. Okay. I had a feeling that stuff could compost. I didn't actually know for sure, but hopefully it composts at a decent enough rate. And I believe this stuff's renewable. I think if you get leaf blocks from like shearing or using silk touch, you can craft them down into it. I'm pretty sure, at least. Here, I can test it right now. You'll be the chosen one. What happens if I do that? No? Wait. Is it via smelting? That's weird. I don't like that. Okay. Why wouldn't you just... Why does smelting it... I don't even know. Okay, whatever. Yeah, copper. So, I have all my copper smelted. This is just a bit over a bit over 3 stacks of copper ingots. And that'll make us 22 blocks of copper, which will make us 20 blocks of cut copper, which realistically means this is going to be just barely even touching the surface of what I need. This is what I was trying to express before, where it's like you feel like you have more copper than you'll ever know what to do with. Did I miss? Oh, I miscounted. It's going to be more than 11 stacks. Because I was counting 11. Ow. I was counting 11 blocks that way. I forgot that there is 2 more blocks that... Because I counted interior. Interior? That's not words. The interior dimension. Well, either way. So three stacks of ingots or raw copper gets us not even 2 rows. So it's going to be a minute before we actually get that copper roof done. But at least you can see the vision. And a lot of people, when they build with copper, they'll like to pre-oxidize the blocks. So I think it's like 4 blocks in between. They'll place like 1 here and 1 here or something like that. Is the optimal range for copper to oxidize faster. But one of the reasons I love copper so much is the oxidation system. And I love building something out of copper, letting it sit for a while. Oh wow, that's gonna be a good amount of bone meal actually. But I like to let it sit for a while until it's slowly starting to oxidize over time. And then I'll usually go in after the fact and I'll wax whatever parts I want to be, because I don't want it to be like a perfect, everything is the exact same shade. So I don't know, that's just kind of my copper system. Let's make 3 more bread. I think I decided I am going to pen up some of these sheep. And since we're doing pretty much all oak wood everywhere else, let's make some defense gate. Go sleeping in a moment. I think that should be enough. Can't sleep yet. Whatever. I can survive a little bit at nighttime. Let's make a sheep pen. Yeah, let's make it kind of over here. How do I... That's not where I want to do. Do that. Let's go... 3, 4, 5. That's 1 more, and then a log. 2, 3. That one's gonna be our gate. We'll just do that for right now. 1, 2, and then 1 with the log. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, not log yet. Log there. I'm great at counting and placing. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's how I want it to be. I need to make some more torches, but is that even? Yeah, and then we'll do the double log actually. It's a very simplistic style, but I don't know. It feels traditional. I don't need to make everything fancy right off the bat. Now let's go gather a couple of our sheep. No, I got the one right out front, but I think that there was another one. Obviously plenty of pigs. Oh, there we go. Come on, pal. I wouldn't mind if I can get a spider to spawn out here while we're out at night. I've got 1 string right now, and I would love to be able to get a fishing pole just when I'm like waiting for things to smelt or while it's raining and I don't want you, cow. Get out of here. Let's see if I can manage to get both the sheep but not the cow. Sheep. Just the sheep. Go on. No. That's the inverse of what we wanted. Cow. This cow is reminding me a whole lot of one of my dogs right now. Who is he's kind of he's a selfish little butthead sometimes. And he always wants things to go his way and like steals toys from our other dog all the time. And this is what it's reminding me of. Okay, what if I switch off the wheat and then switch back? No. Cow, you're making me mad. You know what? I got this. Where's a boat? Whatever, I can craft a boat. Sometimes I'm a little too addicted to flipping through the recipe book. We got a zombie, okay. Oh, hey, that sheep got in all on his lonesome. Nope, get back in there. And now make sweet, sweet love. Give me your XP. Thanks. The parrots and the bats. I find that advancement very funny, mostly because at the time that that advancement was named, there were only parrots to represent birds, and then there were no bees. So obviously that's like what it's in reference to, is the birds and the bees. But now there are birds and bees in Minecraft, and yet it's still the parrots and the bats. Okay, well, whoa, that's like the fastest I've ever seen a piece of copper on like a connected structure oxidize. Okay, let's kill him. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna burn to death. I'm going to free this cow from his boat, his prison, and we're gonna go on a little mini adventure. I just want to kind of explore, see if I can find any other island in the like immediate vicinity. I think having a bit of bread is going to help with that. Maybe if I happen to come across like a shipwreck or some other structure, maybe we'll explore that as well. But we haven't left our little island yet. And while I don't think I'm prepared to fully explore, I think I'm safe enough, my armor is well enough that I can at least dip my toes into that. Got 6 pieces of bread. Clear up my inventory a little bit. And maybe not quite that much. I'll keep my bucket on me. I don't think I need anything else. I guess I'll take shears and out. I don't know what I'd need shears for, but I'll take some. And I'm gonna make myself a new sword. Where's my shield? Okay, which direction do I want to go? Let's go east. That way I can just easily follow the sun back to get back where I'm coming from. And I'm just gonna go voyage off. Although it looks like, is that an island already? There is in fact already an island, and you know what? I see grass on it. This could be our key to cattle. Okay, so I'm not going east at all because I've already found another couple islands, but these could be our key to cattle. Ooh, I will take those. I love that they've been adding particle emitting blocks to the game. Like this, the spore blossom, I think is what it's called. Just anything that adds particle effects, I find it very fun. Which is ironic, because I used to always turn particles off. Mostly because I used to play on a really crappy laptop, but... Okay. These are some fun looking islands we got here. I saw there was coal up on that spire over there. You know what? Normally, I am kind of against harvesting resources that you see like out in the open like this, but it's gonna take so freaking long for us to get enough copper to finish that roof that I'm gonna take every piece that I can find. Take our boat with us. I think I'm gonna have the same rule for coal. I was curious because so I've got that data pack that changes my world gen to just be oceans and islands, and I was curious if that's gonna like break the actual world gen, like if it's gonna be more typical modern Minecraft islands, or if there's gonna be like weird terrain. And seeing how jagged this is got me kind of hopeful that there's gonna be some pretty interesting other places. And I haven't decided entirely like if I want to have rails connecting the islands, maybe do some underwater tunnels or some like above ground bridges, or if I just want to use like the nether to connect and maybe use rails through the nether. That's another thing that I've never done it myself because it was added to the game relatively recently. Oh, cows. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna ship. Honestly, we're gonna ship one back and then we're gonna kill off the rest. So avert your eyes. Perfect. Now I really need string, so I'm actually going to use that first string to make a bundle with that bit of leather. 4 leather. Finding some sugarcane would be nice as well. Not that I am remotely in the progression towards getting enchanting, but I just know every time you play the beginning of Minecraft that I just realized I killed every freaking cow. I'm an idiot. But the grind to get enough leather and sugarcane is just, it's the worst. Kind of breaking all sorts of my personal rules here. Okay, that's a lot of sheep. I don't see any cattle over there. I guess I'm gonna explore until I find another cow or something interesting. So I shall return with my bovine partner. No cows yet, but there was a cool flower forest biome island over there. But oh my gosh, look how freaking pretty this island is. I think I'm gonna have to build something here. Even like the random waterfalls coming out just kind of feel so picturesque, and then with the cherry blossoms up top and the most useless sunflowers ever that are facing a straight cliff wall. I think we're gonna see some pretty interesting places here. I don't know if this is like the upper limits for the size of an island. It's definitely the biggest one I've seen yet. I'm gonna probably come back here off screen to mine out some of the copper here. Although I don't know, I'm tempted to leave it because I think I might build something here. This might be like at some point relocate here if it gets to that point, because holy crap, this is very nice. So there's sheep. I guess I'm gonna climb up, see if there's any cows, but it does look like I'm kind of running out of time for today's episode, so it might end up being a bit of a cow cliffhanger. So I'm gonna do a quick explore. If I don't find anything, then well, we'll call it and head back because it's also almost nighttime. Well, it appears there are no cattle to be found on this island, although it is extremely cool. Deep cave going down to dripstone. I see some 2 emerald veins, some coal, and then looks like some pumpkins over there. But I think I'm going to call it here. I'm gonna boat myself home and get nice and safe and sound before the next episode, but that's where I'm gonna call it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys probably on, I think, Tuesday if I can.